Well, hey all, and welcome back. Today we're going to check out the newest Front Mission Structure Arts figures. This is the light gray variant of the Walrus. This is something they're now releasing individually versus having to buy the full set from each series. But let's go ahead and jump into the packaging. From all the ones I've seen so far, the packaging has retained very similar design motifs. We have sort of a digital file aesthetic with the logo, subtext, as well as which version this is, with a nice illustration on the right of the mech design. Now, if you're not familiar with Front Mission, it is a series of turn-based strategy video games that have been around since the Super Nintendo, and they've continued making games ever since. They have a really cool mech aesthetic, and the whole idea is about customization and modifying. But the package is fairly basic. It does seem to capture the aesthetic of everything. It has some photographs, some illustrations, but there's not a whole lot to it. Let's go ahead and check out what's inside. First, let's go ahead and check out the instructions. So inside you can see the runners as well as assembly. It's all fairly well illustrated, and as you can see, it is a pretty quick to assemble kit. Now let's go ahead and check out the runners. We have a series of polycap style pieces here that would act as the joints. And we also have the basic runners that is pretty much the armor and weapons that make up the sum total of this mecha. Now, as far as the build went, the build was fairly straightforward. We have a lot of undergating on the parts. Some of it seems a little bit unnecessary, but this is something that really feels like it's geared towards a little higher end of a modeler. It is not as easily to assemble as, say, a Bandai kit, and you're going to have to use some glue, some sandpaper and files if you really want to clean it up. And then also, not to mention, you're going to probably want to paint this so that it has some decent contrast throughout the parts. Otherwise, you only have the primary color and the joint color. But some of the pieces, they use a little work to stay together, but for the most part, it builds pretty easily. Now with the Walrus completely built, I want to give you all a bit of forewarning. Even though this is assembled, this is not completely built. Like I said in the building portion, there is some glue needed to really make this figure stay together, and so it's going to be a bit of a floppy mess and be prone to falling apart. So I'm going to point out some of the articulation, but I'm not going to be too rough with it because some of the pieces are just going to come apart. We do have a ball joint in the ankle, as well as a hinge at the top of the ankle. We have a double joint in the knee here. We have hip articulation, and there's actually a joint in the middle that gives a little bit of up and down. We have a shoulder joint here. We have our elbow joint with rotation above the elbow, and then we have a ball joint in the neck. In addition to that, we do have some articulation here on this portion, but this is sort of an add-on and something you can take on and off. We do have some leftover runners. We have the hands here, including some open hands and weapon holding hands. We have a couple runners here. This has some extra joint pieces that are unused, and this actually has these hinge points that you can build extensions for mounting arms on the hard points. We have on the forearm and the top shoulder, as well as the backpack. I am missing a piece on mine. We have these little small lights here. I tried to install one of them, and holding with tweezers launched across the room, and so I'm missing one. So these would have gone here, and I will not be using them. We also have an additional face right here. It's not too different, but it gives you some variety in the build. And then some extra joints here, just additional components of stuff that's being used, and things for making weapon mounting points. Speaking of weapons, we have a mace here. We have a shield. Has a single hard point right here that can go in the forearm. We have a rocket system that goes on the shoulders. A chain gun, as well as a automatic long rifle with 2 ammo canisters on it. So we have a pretty good variety of weapons. And if you buy multiples of these, you can use weapons from each of them. Let's go ahead and check out the aesthetic. We have a lot of hard surfaces on this mecha. Having some conversations about it on the forums, there's definitely some drawbacks to the mecha like Assault Suit Vulcan and Lenos. And even though this is all in a single light gray aesthetic, I think with some panel lining and a few little details here and there, you could actually go with this color. I think it really works. I think as far as heavy mecha go, we have a really good look here. We have a handful of ports here and there for adding alternate weapons and parts, and I'm really a big fan of these blocky torsos as well as these split toe feet. I think there's just something about the look of this that is really well thought out. I'd say the design of this mech is kind of retro in some ways. Of course, front mission's been around a long time and this is a derivative of that, but this does draw from the more realistic, clunkier mecha, not so much the agile super mecha that you might see in modern designs. And here you can see it with the Hell's Wall variant that I had done a review on in the past. If you want to see more comparisons with this line, check out that video. I'll link it in the description below. This kit, even though the aesthetic may be for a lot of us, building the kit is not for everyone. I love the look of these. I love front mission. I love the fact that I can take these apart, combine different kits to make whole new mecha. But with that said, you will have a little bit more skill as a modeler to assemble these. You're going to need to be able to glue, maybe a little sanding and filing, as well as the painting aspect of it. Now, you may be able to get away with doing a heavy wash with some panel liner and then coming back and doing some small details with paint. But if you really want these to look good, you're going to need to put the time into them. These, of course, are straight build. And for many, that might be sufficient. But if you really want these to look as good as the product photos, you're going to have to put in the work. So anyway, let us know in the comments below if this kit is worthy of your collection. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.